Welcome back. Social Development Minister Lindiwe Zulu has announced that the grant provided to caregivers or families who are taking care of orphan children will be increased. Zulu was visiting a child and youth care centre in KwaZulu-Natal. Meanwhile, the global conference on the elimination of child labour is underway in Durban. The conference will bring together stakeholders from around the globe to discuss advanced policy and commit to ending child labour. Lethiwe Mdluli reports.
The 5th Global Conference on the Elimination of Child Labour has kicked off at the Durban ICC. The conference aims at coming up with an action plan to end the practice of child labour by 2025 globally. This is the first time the conference is being held in Africa, and over 4,000 participants from all over the world are taking part. Ahead of the conference, the Minister for Social Development, Lindiwe Zulu, visited a child and youth centre that hosts victims of child labour. Some victims who were either forced to sell drugs from a young age or who were heading households have shared how difficult their childhood has been.
I grew up without my mom. My mom died when I was so young. I don't know my father where he is. But then growing up, I was exposed to drugs where I lived. I started doing drugs at the age of 13. When I grew up, so the person that was selling me drugs, because I didn't have the money to buy those drugs, he then put me into selling them. So he would give me them in return. When I started selling them, I was 14. I started selling them. I sold them maybe for 2 years, and then I was arrested for selling drugs.
Abazali bami bobabili basaphila, so ngaso sonke isikhathi bebengabantu ade bengaboni ngasolinye, so ba abantu ababanga ngisho nazo imali grant, so benako ukuxabana kakhulu belwe phambi kwesingane. So ekugcineni kwesikhathi ke ngalezo zimo bagcine ba abantu abahlukanayo, ubaba wayesethutha yohlala emakhaya, uma wayesesala ngapha edolobheni. So engangifisene nako kumele ukuthi nginakekele ingane zasekhaya, ngazi ukuthi ngaso sonke isikhathi silala dlile. So in that case kumele kube nemali engizoba nayo ukuze ngikwazi ukuthi ngibeke isinkwa etafuleni. So ingane zasekhaya bengumuntu ohambe bamba ama-piece job imizi nemizi ukuze ukwazi ukuthi zilale zilile, ngibuye nesinkwa endlini zilale zilile. So bengimele ngenze sure ukuthi before nami ngiye esikoleni zigezile ziyakwazi ukuthi ziye esikoleni.
The Minister of Social Development says that the African continent has the highest number of working children, which is something that needs to change.
Children should remain children. They are supposed to be left to be children. But of course, that to happen, it means us as adults, we must create the conducive environment for that, which therefore means children must be in proper homes, children must go to school, there must be proper clinics, there must be proper transport. Everything that makes a child happy is what we are supposed to do as a government, but also as civil society.
Zulu has also announced that the amount for orphaned children will be increased in order to help those in need.
This year we're going to be increasing the amount of money that have been given to the caregivers or the families that are taking care of orphaned children, because before then the amount was below the poverty line. So now we're going to be increasing it to 720. But what I think is also important is the fact that the children or the caregivers no longer have to go through this tedious process of court processes. We are taking charge of that process and making sure that the children or the caregivers, they receive this money as quickly as possible.
According to the International Labour Organization, more than 160 million children remain in child labour worldwide. The conference is set to conclude on Friday with the adoption of the Durban Call to Action. Lethiwe Mdluli, Durban.